Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Labor Day. I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. That would be great. But I'm hoping everyone is off doing something somewhere, as I will be the minute this podcast is over. It is, if you, at least if you're in New York, it's a beautiful, beautiful, bright, sunshiny day, which I was hoping for. So it's a beautiful day outside. So hopefully you are having a great day. You're outside cooking barbecue, doing whatever it is you're doing. And I don't know, I was so busy the last few days that I didn't even realize until someone told me that today was a holiday. And I was like, what? What's going on? So um but I am happy to be here. I hope you are too. Our faves are wherever it is they're doing, wherever it is they are, whether it's in Montecito or wherever in the world they are, because they're ninja, so they could be anywhere, as we've seen in the past week with Harry ninjaing his way to the UK. And yes, I know all the nonsense that has been going on the whole weekend with the British press. Just please just ignore them. Just ignore the British press and their nonsense. This is just a cover for the fact that Harry was able to come into their country, go to a memorial service, and all of that without them knowing about it until after, most likely leaked by Kensington Palace. I wouldn't put it past them. I have no evidence for that, but that's where I would assume that leak came from. Other people that's friends and family don't really talk to the press, so I would assume the only people that we know that would be a part of it that would speak to the press, especially the Sun, is the Kensington Palace, because they have a relationship with the Sun. So other than that, the rest of the weekend, it has been madness with the British press. So again, please ignore the nonsense. It just Harry and Meghan have said what they've said. And if that changes, I'm sure they'll let us know. I'm certainly it would not go through the British press. So, anyways, our fave, whatever they're doing, looking lovely. Of course, we know that photo was from Colombia. Beautiful, beautiful photo of Harry, usually as he does, whisper something to Meghan. And so beautiful as usual. But wherever they are celebrating today, we just wish them love and peace and joy, that all of it that the Lord can give. So that's what we pray for them, wherever whatever tree they're under, whether it's in Montecito or wherever else in the world they are. So what else is happening today? Big celebration today. Mama Doria's birthday is today. So, oh my goodness, this lady. And of course, my favorite photo of Mama Doria is this photo of her at Beyonce's concert. Ignore the two in the back doing whatever it is they're doing in the back there. But Mama Doria is having the time of her life. And I love this picture. It will be forever my favorite picture of Mama Doria. It's just like she is in her world, in her own happiness, and was just celebrating that day. That will always be my favorite. And so yes, but I just I absolutely love it. So whatever Mama Doria is doing, I'm assuming maybe spending time with Meghan and Harry and the kids, or just off on her own. Mama Doria has her own life. She doesn't have to do everything with Meghan. She has her own life. She has her own friends. She has her own thing going on, and I just love that for her. Her own career. I know when the Sussexes first moved to California, so many people were like, oh, that she was going to go and be their babysitter. And I'm like, why would Mama Doria, who is an accomplished woman, has a degree in social work and all the things she's doing, leave her life to go be babysit for her kid? I was like, you people, like, what? Mama Doria has her own life. Why would you think Mama Doria would give up her life to go be Meghan's babysitter? Like, hello. So nothing wrong with babysitting. I did babysitting as well, but No, Mama Doria has her own life, and I love that for her so much. So whatever Mama Doria is doing today for her birthday, I just wish it's the best birthday ever, and may she have many, many, many more going forward. And so, yes, this woman is so beautiful. She's just such a beautiful person, and for everything I've heard of her, she's a beautiful person inside and out. Meghan certainly got all that from her mama. So yeah. I don't know if Papa has good qualities, but he certainly has not shown it since I've been aware of him. So yeah, so we'll just give it all to Mama Doria. So yes, but before we go on, just want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Church Nelly was here earlier posting, and so I am so happy to see you here, Church Nelly. Hopefully you are feeling better and your pain is gone. So yes, and thank you, Church Nelly. Yes, please, if you're here and you're listening or watching, please subscribe to the channel, share our channel, donate real money, as Church Nelly puts it there. Join our channel, and please like and share the video, and click the notification bell when you subscribe, so that way you can know when we drop a video. So, and if you need any other links for the channel, Church Nelly has put them there. So thank you so much, Church Nelly, and all of you. Lydia is here. Hello, Lydia. Well, today's a holiday, so Lydia is, I'm assuming, home and barbecuing, Lydia. I am so happy you're here too, Lydia. Awesome moderator. Love it. I so love that you are here. And yes, thank you, Church Nelly. If you're looking for a Sussex site, definitely click on this link and just read. I mean, they're doing so many wonderful things. Definitely go over there and support them and read all the great things they're doing so you can share about it. And if you're interested in True Patriot Love, they are one of the nations that's going to be hosting the Invictus Games in Vancouver, Whistler next February. So definitely go over there and support them if you can. So yes. Wait, what? Church Nelly went boating? Oh my Lord. She went boating and forgot about Lady Sussex's podcast. I'll be listening ASAP. I don't know who Lady Sussex is, so I guess I have to go. As I said, I'm not on YouTube a lot, so I don't know a lot of podcasts that's on here. So because there's so much negative stuff on YouTube, I tend to watch very specific things. Tennis, I would watch sometimes Baron or the Duchess of Success, and not much more. And maybe sometimes catch those America's Next Got Talent or whatever it's called, one of those. The rest of it I try to avoid, because sometimes you click on a link thinking it's good, and only to realize that it's a negative Sussex channel. It's happened to me numerous times. I think it was last week or something. Or the week before, I was looking for a specific video on the Sussexes, and the video kept popping up on YouTube, and I kept thinking, oh yeah, that's a video, and then click on the link and realize it's a hate channel ripping the video apart. So I'm like, no, I just stay away from YouTube, period. So too much negativity on this thing sometimes. But anyways, I will check out Lady Sussex. So apparently, according to this, and I'm seeing the big exclamation marks, that means it's a good channel. So I will check it out. Thank you guys for talking there and me snooping on your posts. And Lydia is giving a little bit of update on that channel. Says it was lovely. It's lovely. She did a full podcast and the second video with a tribute to Baron and others. I hope you had fun boating. Oh, wow. Very cool. Well, I definitely need to check it out. Wait a minute. Talk about Baron. Someone was asking about Baron. I've been so busy all weekend, so I hadn't checked in with Baron. Has he had a podcast? Because someone was asking about that. But again, I was thinking it's Labor Day weekend. Baron is probably taking a break because he does it every day, and it's a lot to do a podcast every day. So hopefully he is. Wait, what? Prayers for Baron? What happened to Baron? I was thinking Baron probably just took the weekend off because it's Labor Day, and he's been laboring this whole time. I mean, it's a lot to put on a podcast. every other day or every few days like I do, but Baron does it every single day, and it's a lot to put on to do a podcast and do a live. It's a lot of research that goes into it. So, whoa! I hope Baron is okay. Is he sick? Oh my word! Because the last time I saw a community page note from him that there wasn't a podcast a couple of days ago. So I mean, again, I just assumed he was just taking a day off. So hopefully, as I scroll down here, hopefully whoa, prayers for Baron. Hope he's doing better. So I guess Baron is sick. Oh my goodness. And there I was thinking Baron is off having a fun time enjoying his Labor Day weekend. Never mind. I will be praying for Baron. I'll check in on him and see how he's doing. Wow. Thank you guys for posting that, because I was thinking that Baron was just, having a great day, great weekend. So yeah. But okay, so we'll check in on Baron, see how he's doing. So, but hello to all of you, the rest of you in the chat. Gwen is here, Janice is here, Vanessa, Paulette. Hi guys. Sharon is here. Terry, Yalibi, Gwen, Black Queen, our awesome moderator is here. Hi guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Lola Love is here saying hello to everyone. Wait, did I say Paulette and Gwen before? Paulette and Gwen, if I didn't, hey. Happy you guys are here, and we'll say hello to everyone else as they come in. Janice is here as well. And who else did I miss? Oh, Mrs. S is here. 21 months of supporting this channel. Oh, Mrs. S, thank you, thank you, thank you. She's thanking me for all my informative podcasts. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of your support for the channel. JSC is here. Hello, JSC. So anyway, hi, John. I see John over there as well. Happy Labor Day, everybody. We've all been laboring, so hope you have enjoying your day off from laboring. So yes. But anyways, again, happiest birthday to Mama Doria. And as I wasn't here for the weekend, so I didn't get a chance to remember with you all, of course, on the day I did, but I was working on something and wasn't able to do a podcast over the weekend. And so we know on Saturday, Princess Diana was the anniversary of her death, or shall we say, a remembrance of her death, and that horrible day on August 31st, 1997. So obviously, people paying tributes from all over the world. And this is her brother, Charles Spencer, who a few months ago I did a review of his book, or at least a few episodes talking about his book, which is amazing, about the horrible life he lived in boarding school. And so he posted sort of a press clippings on his parents, Lord and Lady Althorp's third daughter, christened. So that is a photo of Princess Diana when she was christened. Again, these people are all aristos, so they are Lord and Lady Althorp. And of course, we know Althorp House is where Diana grew up, where Charles Spencer, as the male in the house, as in Britain, the male inherit everything, the female inherit nothing. And so he inherited Althorp House, which is where he still lives, and which is where Princess Diana is buried. We'll get to that in a second. But he posted this, remembering his sister, and that's a little photo of Princess Diana all the way in the bottom there on the right, and those again press clippings of them. So really nice, I thought, nice remembrance of his sister. And of course, Prince Harry and his mama. I never saw the photo on the right before, and I was like, oh, I've never seen that photo. It's so beautiful, with Princess Diana kissing little Harry's hand. I was like, oh my gosh, look at how precious that is. I could only imagine the tear that goes through Prince Harry's heart when he goes through, and I'm assuming he goes through pictures of him and his mom when he was a child. And I wonder if because I know for a while, a lot of the memories he had of his mom, he didn't have them anymore. And so I wonder now, with much therapy and much help, how much of these moments that he remembers. I mean, I'm assuming he may not remember the time, the one with the Diana kissing his hand on the right, because he was very, very young. And so he may not remember. Like, I literally have only one memory of myself about that age, or maybe a little bit older. And so the rest of my early childhood, I don't remember. But so I literally only have one. And so I wonder how much of these he remembers. And it would be so great to, that, if he could remember a lot more of this. Because obviously, as he mentioned, he couldn't remember his mom for a while, because I guess, the grief and not dealing and all of that stuff for years. So, and this, of course, is Althorp House, the Althorp property or land where Princess Diana is buried. And that's the little island, that's the pond there, and the little island where is her final resting place. And so you literally have to take a little boat to go off over to the island. Like I mentioned before, just in case you didn't know, during the year, during the summer, Althorp House is open to the public. At least part of the house and the land, the property, is open to the public as a tourist attraction. So a lot of people come and visit the property, and they usually come to her memorial. That's the top picture there, where some people, as you can see, leave flowers and stuff like that, and there are little plaques there about Princess Diana, a little profile there, picture there. And so that's where she's laid. And so people come, and you can see the little island obviously from there. And so people come and sit there and just look over into the island. Again, the little island in the middle where she's buried is not accessible to the public, so they can't go over there. But we know Prince Harry and obviously family members can go and visit her. And Harry talked about in Spare, him and Meghan taking that little boat over to the island where she's buried in there. So it's wonderful to see it's all nice and cleaned up. And so, yeah. And at the bottom, obviously, that's part. Althorp House is huge. That's part of Althorp House and the huge property that, Charles inherited from his father. And so if you read Charles's book, what is it called again? Oh, shoot. I now forget the name of the book. But his memoir about his boarding school, he talks a lot about living in another house. Like, they grew up in Althorp House, I think, and they lived in another house and then had to come back to Althorp House or something like that. And but then after, obviously, him and Diana grew up there. And obviously when his father passed away, he inherited it. And I'm sure other properties that are there. And again, the women in the family inherit nothing. And so obviously when Charles passes on, he has already bequeathed this to his oldest son, to his son, and his daughters basically get nothing. So it's tradition passed on, this horrible tradition passed on. So again, that's where Diana is laid. Just in case you didn't know, I know the majority of people know that, but that's where she is laid to rest. And it's the Diana Awards tweeted this, and I was thinking about all the different ways that people think of Princess Diana. And this is the Diana Awards, which obviously they're going to be coming to New York this month to hang out with Prince Harry, to do whatever it is they're going to be doing in New York. Whether it's an award ceremony or fundraiser or whatever they're doing, we don't know yet. So they're going to be there. But they posted this about her. This says, the legacy of Diana, Princess of Wales, reaches us all in one way or another. Today on the anniversary, obviously this was Saturday, today on the anniversary of the death of Diana, Princess of Wales, the Diana Awards new chair of Board of Trustees, Rebecca Crook, shares how Princess Diana has impacted her life. And she said, I always remember Princess Diana as being such an inspirational role model, changing perceptions on such high-profile topics with a selflessness to speak up for those who didn't have a voice. This has always stayed with me. So, in my day to day role, I always aim to seek to create a platform where the voices of those who are often unheard can be respected and amplified. And this is so great. I love this. I absolutely love this. There she is, imitating Princess Diana. And so I just thought it was just really, really beautiful. Just a beautiful remembrance of Princess Diana. So again, the Diana Awards with Tessio, Joe, and others are going to be in New York. We don't know the exact date yet, so at some point, we will know what day and what exactly they'll be doing in New York with Prince Harry. And of course, I had to be petty. That's all right. But I love these photos of Prince Harry. And I can always imagine the photo on the right is her looking in on watching Prince Archie, Meghan and Harry christened Prince Archie, and her two sisters and Mama Doria, her fellow grandma, celebrating that moment. Yes, I know I cut out the others. We don't need them. We don't need them in this photo. This is all we need here. And I just could imagine. I mean, I always imagine what it would have been like had Chiefs been alive, and just to see her relationship with Mama Doria, how that, I mean, I just, it's sad, but I'm glad that, at least Harry and Meghan have a mama watching over them and taking care of her grandkids. And of course, we know Prince Harry just went back to the UK to visit the Spencer family, visit his aunts. And of course, one of his aunts, her husband, is the one who passed away. So that Prince Harry was there to visit and remember him. So it was just all one big memorial. And I would assume, I mean, I don't know when Prince Harry came back to the US, or if he is back in the US, or we have no idea. He's been completely ninja. Again, as I mentioned the other day, I would not have been surprised if he had stayed in the UK to be there for Saturday to remember his mom. I wouldn't have been surprised at all if he had stayed there. So whatever the situation is and whatever he did, I know it would be a meaningful time for him, just remembering his mom. I just love this. I just love these photos together. And I mean, even the color palette of this photo, I mean, she just sort of fits right into this photo. And so her spirit, I'm sure, was there with Harry and Meghan. So yes. Thank you, Terry. She's like, we don't need no bad energy in the photo. Yes, exactly. So there. See, my pettiness was for a purpose. So good. But yes, but Princess Diana, we will always, always, always remember you. Always remember all the great things that you did for people and how much you loved your baby. So there you go. What else is happening? Talk about baby. Well, her baby grew up, and now he and his beautiful wife, they are, they have Archwell, and they are doing incredible things, supporting men and women around the world. And one of the great things that they have done, because we know Prince Harry obviously served in Afghanistan, and so they have made it a mission to just welcome Afghan refugees into US, of course, because of what happened. We're not going to go into US, what the United States did in Afghanistan. But because of that, a lot of refugees from Afghanistan have had to bail out of that country for their lives. And so a lot of them obviously were repatriated into America, brought here. Some of them had, however way they come. But obviously they're in a new country with with new people speaking a different language. And so without community and without people around them that they can relate to, it is horrendous. I know. I moved to this country and I did it by myself, and I speak English, and it was still difficult. So I can only imagine, I can only imagine coming to a place where you don't speak the language, your culture is completely different, knowing, also what that country did to your country. And it's just like, ooh, it's a lot. And so Harry and Meghan have done everything in their power, and they're doing everything in their power to work with different organizations in different states really welcoming these men and women into their community and helping them to be able to have some sense of being with people who at least can relate to them, who can speak to them, who can, they can speak the same language as they learn their new culture. And so I love this. It's the Welcome Project. And we've talked about numerous of them. I think there were like 12 or 13 of them around the country. So this is the one in Virginia. And again, this is on was posted on Saturday, I want to say either Saturday or Sunday, on the Sussex's website, sussex.com, under Archwell Foundation. Definitely jump over there and check it out. It says, the Welcome Project in Virginia empowers women through sewing. It says, over the past year, the Welcome Project in Sterling, Virginia has created a supportive community of over 50 women who have recently resettled in the area through weekly sewing gatherings facilitated by our dedicated local partner, Mosaic. These women have had an opportunity to acquire new skills, essential resources, and forge meaningful connections. And they had like this graduation ceremony thing where each lady were able to display all the new skills that they have learned, whether it's patterns or dressmaking and all of those things, designing and all of that stuff. They had their, I guess that's their little graduation ceremony. Not that they're not part of the group anymore, but that I guess they've whatever thing they've learned, they've graduated from. So yeah, so it's really wonderful to see this all happening in all of these different communities around the country. Some people are cooking, some groups are hiking, some groups are sewing. They're doing all these different things to help build community, because again, when families moved in, when these families come to the US, it's a husband, wife, husband, and kids. A lot of times the husbands are usually the main focus to get, because you have to help them to get work and all of that stuff. The women are usually left to their own devices and not without much community. And so Archwell and these partner groups in these cities have really served to embrace the women and the children and help them to become community. So really, really great work. This is just a little blurb from Archwell. There's more to this, and there are other photos as well. So definitely jump over there and check out what Archwell is doing with the Welcome Project around the country. So really, really cool and exciting. And I posted this in our community page a couple of days ago. So I hope you had a chance to read it. I know as I was looking through the comments and responding to some comments, I know a couple of people have read it. So hopefully you guys have had a chance to read it. This is a really great article from Bianca Betancourt. She is the journalist that the Sussexes chose to take with them to Colombia. And of course, there was like a whole big brouhaha, especially from the British press, about the fact that she got to go as the only journalists, and they were kicked to the curb, which we hope they continually get kicked to the curb. So Bianca, she wrote this really great article about her experience working and covering the Sussexes in Colombia. And so this is a little bit about what she says. I'll read some other parts of it that's not here, obviously, on the screen. But this is a little bit about it. So going in a little bit to the paragraph at the end of this paragraph there, says, being on the ground with Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan in Colombia for their tour with Archwell Foundation, however, was easily one of the most eye-opening moments of my career. And of course, before that, she was talking about being on tour with Beyonce in Dubai and other people, because she's a culture and entertainment editor at Bazaar. So she does a lot of this stuff, a lot of entertainment industry and culture stuff. And so she was talking about all of these other experiences, including with Beyonce, that she had. And this, she said, was easily the most eye-opening moment of her career. So that's huge from her to say. And so she goes on to say, this trip felt especially kismet to me because my earliest introduction to Harper's Bazaar was my mother's cherished Princess Diana's commemorative issue, which she kept displayed in our home. Now, decades later, I find myself charting through Colombia with Diana's son and his wife. Watching the warmth and compassion with which they approach meeting hundreds of strangers and then witnessing the way these in real life events were discussed online made me understand the vertigo that comes with simply existing at Harry and Meghan's level of fame. These 4 days in Colombia weren't about pomp and circumstance of celebrity, however, but this for the Sussexes, everything they do and everywhere they go always circles back to their mission of showing up and doing good. And I thought it was so cool, really cool too, because she also talked about, the real reason for this trip. And it also amplifies the reason why they chose her. And so it says, and obviously I'm reading other parts of the article, it says the Sussex's tour of Colombia was also about shining a light on some of Latin America's most overlooked communities. As someone who has covered the intersection of Afro-Latinidad and culture since the very beginning of my career, at times it was overwhelming to witness the joy that radiated from local children and elders alike at being chosen to share a piece of their world with the Duke and Duchess. Even in 2024, the mainstream media's portrayal of Colombians is inherently white. Just look at the country's biggest entertainment exports. But the country's African and indigenous traditions are rooted in every aspect of its art, music, and literature. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't moved by witnessing communities come together to showcase a traditional drum circle, or by chatting with local dancers in Cali ahead of their performance. Colombians, like so many Latin Americans, manage to find resilience by maintaining their joy, and it is something we all could learn from. A little bit more of what she said. She says, I needed that positivity during my time covering the Sussexes, since any sort of association with the couple, even just being a pool reporter, sharing basic details and facts about their day-to-day event, means opening up myself to unwarranted critique. The world. Within hours of the announcement that I would be accompanying them on the tour, I was called a grifter, a mouthpiece, and a calculated piece of their PR puzzle, among other things. And that before I even sent out the single pool report, UK reporters specifically were baffled about my being there. I was described as having no news background, my entire career discredited, because of what I could only assume is the fact that I am not white and not British. There was no mention of my years-long dedication to uplifting Latino art and culture, because the Colombian tour was planned minute to minute with essentially zero drama for clickbait to pick up on and sensationalize. I was the next easiest target. It felt eerily familiar. And then she goes on, to talk about how Harry and Meghan just sat down and listened, like really listened to the kids and really were interested in every aspect of their lives. I mean, it was, if you've read the article, you've seen a lot of what she's written, all of what she's written. But, we saw this happen again. We saw all this happen in real time, when Scobie, because people were DMing Scobie asking if he would be the one to be accompanying the Sussexes, if he would be covering their tour. And he posted on social media, which we highlighted here, that it would be Bianca. And then he posted a link to her ex feed. And that's when she said within minutes of that happening, she got lambasted, obviously by trolls and stuff. And of course, I'm sure she's talking about Rebecca English, who was the one on video questioning her credentials as a journalist. And for a woman who's, I don't remember all the news outlets she wrote for before, but again, she literally covers the Latin American culture That's what she literally, like she says, she's been doing it since the beginning of her career. So Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan, would be researching who they want to take to Colombia with them. Someone who is invested in the culture, who's been posting and writing about the culture and is interested in uplifting the culture. That's who they chose to take with them. Of course, the British press doing no research, all of a sudden it's not them going, and she isn't writing for, say, the Washington Post or New York Times or something. So let's lambast her. Yes, she's working for a fashion magazine, Harper's Bazaar. So then she must have no experience other than with fashion stuff, without ever researching what Bianca does. And so, yeah, it's just really sad what they tried to do to her. But I'm glad that she was able to, share what her experience was like on the ground and witnessing the love and the warmth to which Harry and Meghan, interacted with children and elders. And you could tell from some of the videos that we saw and the photos that we saw, from Colombia, just how amazing. And as she said, there was no drama underground, none that they could report. And so they then had to create drama around it. And again, as we've seen this weekend, the same thing has happened. They have no access to Harry. He was able to get in and probably got out of the UK before anybody knew anything. And they have no access. So what do? They create drama out of nothing. So yes, but I am happy for Bianca that she had this experience. She said the most eye-opening experience of her moments of her career, and so I am so happy that she was the one they chose, because she everything she relayed was just the facts. There was nothing, as she said, there was no drama. So she literally just relayed the facts. So, which is what we love. Especially on the channel. No drama, just the facts, please. And so I am so happy. So again, the link to that is in our community page. It's been there for a few days. So definitely, if you want to read Bianca's article, and if you're an ex, drop her a thank you, and just congratulations, or a thank you, or congratulations for a job well done in Colombia. So yes, so very, very, very nice. I'm so happy that she got that experience. What else is happening? And I'm going to get to the chat at the end. I see you guys posting stuff there. This happened. Ellie Marks, you guys remember Ellie Marks? She was one of the again, the people from Invictus, and actually she's a friend of Prince Harry, that's presented him with the Pat Tillman Award at the ESPYs a few months ago. So she's the one in white. And there was another event where she got an honor, and I keep forgetting to go back and remember what the honor is, that Harry was the one that presented it to her. And so he referred to her as a great friend of his. And so she is the Olympics just happened. And so now the Paralympics is happening in Paris, and it's happening right now. And so she has won 2 medals. So yeah, so in 2 days, there's 2 medals in 2 days. Ellie Marks secures silver in the 200 meters. Obviously, she's a swimmer. And so she has won another medal. And oh my goodness, I guess I forgot to bring that in. There was another athlete, an Invictus athlete, that won, and I think he won a gold medal at the games. And now Invictus, they're posted today that they're at the games as well. So not just the athletes, Invictus Foundation is at the games as well. So congratulations to all of the Invictus athletes, and to all of the athletes at the Paralympic Games, because a lot of them, most likely, if they're veterans, would end up at the Invictus Games. So congratulations to all of them. So yes. What else is happening? And Saturday, and it's so weird, like I never put those two together until this weekend, and I think because my mind was just not full of stuff for a moment there. And I realized the same day that we were remembering Princess Diana was the Independence Day of my country. And I was like, oh wait, for some reason it never clicked in my head until this weekend that it was the same day. And I was like, oh, what was I thinking? So yes, this past weekend on Saturday was the Independence Day, 62nd independence of my country. So yes, I'm very, very excited. Independence from Britain. And so to all of my squatty Trini squatties, happy belated Independence Day. Hope you guys had a great day celebrating while I was working. No, I'm not jealous at all, at all. You know, just a little bitter maybe. But hope you guys had a great time celebrating. And of course, these are photos from my country. That's my tiny little island, the center photo. If you, just in case you have never seen a photo of Trinidad and Tobago, that's Trinidad, the bigger island there, and the tiny little one at the top right there. And there is my country that that I was born in, Tobago. That's my little island over there. The whole country is called Trinidad and Tobago, but that's my tiny little island there. By air, it's like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 30 minutes to get to from one island to another. By boat, it's like about 4 hours or something like that. And so, yeah, so Tobago is my tiny little island there. And this is one of our little beaches. I think this is in Plativere. This is like the northern tip of Tobago. This is a bit of Scarborough, the town, just some houses, just in case you've never seen anything about Tobago. So, yes. And so our motto in Tobago, together, Trinidad and Tobago, together we aspire, together we achieve. And so, yes, very, very exciting. And again, to all of our Trini squatties. Oh, Cinderella says she's been to Tobago. Oh, I hope you had a great time. I'm sure you enjoyed our beaches, and people understand why I would never set foot in a beach in New York. Actually, I went to one that was actually clear. It was in East Hampton, so that was very clear. I was very surprised to see very clear water. I'm like, if I don't have clear water, I do not go in. So when you're from Trinidad, especially Tobago, you don't go into water that is not crystal clear. So yeah. We don't do that sort of thing. So yeah, so happy independence. And of course, I think our national anthem is the best anthem in the entire world. And I just like, of course, I am completely not biased at all. And so I just think it's the most powerful anthem in the entire world. And I always think about it when I think of the British anthem, because, you know, it's God Save the Queen. Well, now God Save the King. And I'm like, look at these anthems. And I'm like, why would the British people not want an anthem that celebrates their country and celebrates, you know, who they are and what they're about, as opposed to one person? And I'm like, well, you know, I'm sure God will save him, but what about the rest of the people? Don't you think God needs to be saving them? I mean, they need, you know, probably need it more. So, but I love, love, love our anthem whenever I think about it. And so I'm going to sing our national anthem. Since I didn't celebrate it or didn't get a chance to celebrate, this is our national anthem in Trinidad and Tobago, just in case you never heard it. So it goes, forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. And that is our national anthem. So congratulations to all of our wonderful, wonderful squatties and all of my friends and family in Trinidad and Tobago. I hope you had a great time celebrating our national, our independence. Yeah. And of course, we're a republic. So again, that's why I didn't grow up with all of this British, of course, we were under British rule, but this was before my time. This was before I was born. And then we were a republic. So yeah, I didn't have to grow up in all that mess. But I'm so grateful and to be able to finally sit down and celebrate my country. So yes, and that is our national flag, as you can tell. So anyways, what else? Let's jump in the chat. Excuse me, I had to do my little whenever I think about our national anthem, I'm just so proud. So yeah, forgive my singing there. I had to do it. So yes. What else? What are you guys saying in the chat? Let's just jump in there for a moment. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Gwen is running off. She's like, bye. Hope you guys, everyone has a great day. Have a great day celebrating, Gwen. So yes. Black Queen says the French is very touching. I remember it from the movie Casablanca when the French citizens stood up in the pub and sung it with defiance at the presence of Nazi Gestapo. Oh, I could imagine. Yes. I'm telling you that your anthem needs to represent the people, because it's something people can get behind and be like, yes, and especially, I am all about liberty and freedom, and from that freedom and liberty, you fight for all the things that you have. And that's why I love stuff like this, like my aura says, forged from the love of liberty, of freedom. And for me, the butterflies, when I think of freedom, I always think of butterflies. They're flying free and beautiful. And so, yes. And it's like side by side we stand. You could get behind that instead of God save the king. And like, people, come on. Come on, UK. You could do better. Get one for yourself. Tinkerbell, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Lydia's laughing at my singing. Oh, that's okay, Lydia. Thank you so much. She's like, go pedal. Thank you for the encouragement. Oh my goodness. No, I just love that anthem. Let's see. Let's see. What else you guys are saying? Oh, Lydia saying, thanks to all of you who joined. If you have not already, please do a thumbs up and help support. Yes, please, thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. So, yes. Tarzia says, do Caribbean islands need a visa to go from one island to the next? No, just a passport. Just your passport. At least when I was growing up and growing from different islands, I only needed a passport. I think only if you're going to like the US or the UK, you need a visa. But the rest of it is just a passport. So yeah. And of course, my favorite island to go to was Barbados. Oh my goodness. Although when I was a child and I went there, the second time I went there, we flew through a hurricane and then hurricane destroyed the island. And so we were going hiking, climbing over trees on the street, and it was a big mess. So, but oh my goodness, the beaches in Barbados, ooh, beautiful. So pristine, so beautiful. So yeah. Janice has been to Trinidad and Tobago. Oh my goodness, Janice, tell us what was your experience like? Trinidad and Tobago is really, really beautiful. One of my favorite things in Tobago, even though, yes, I have a very complicated relationship with water, and this was one of the reasons, I used to love going out because, just about everybody owned a boat. So, and it means a very different thing in the Caribbean than it does here. In the US, if you have a boat, it's sort of like a sign of richness and all of that stuff. In the Caribbean, it's just a way of life. Everybody has a boat. And because, family go out fishing and they go out, catch fish, do a big cookout on the beach. This is just normal Caribbean life. And so we would go out on the boat all the time. And so there was something called the reef. And you go out there and it's in the middle of the ocean and it's this very shallow area. in the ocean. You can get out of the boat and literally almost touch the bottom because it's so shallow, and you could swim around with the fish and all of that stuff. And then on the outside of that little reef is very, very deep, so you don't go out there. So you go on a boat, and you go on a glass bottom boat, because our boats were glass bottom, so you can see everything. And yeah, so my favorite thing was going out on the reef, and which is where a lot of tourists love to go. They go past all the deep stuff, go out in the middle of the ocean, and there's a shallow, beautiful, it looks like a pool in the middle of the ocean, which is really what it is. It's like a pool in the middle of the ocean. So yeah, really, really fun in Tobago. But yeah, but that's also why I have this complicated relationship with water, because we were taking tourists, or at least some tourists were coming with us out, and one of them decided to jump out of the boat and then swim under because they have these outside engines, and one of them, this man, decided to swim right under the engine, and I thought he had died. He didn't. He wasn't. But it was the shock of hearing my cousin like scream, and that thing has played in my mind forever. And I cannot get it out of my head. And I had to literally relearn how to swim and how to go into water again. And how I still can't go into deep waters by myself. I have to have someone there with me. I still have to have someone. If I go into a pool, I would not go into a pool by myself. It's just, it messed my whole childhood up. And so I never had fear of the water until that day. And so, but it is what it is. So anyways, moving on from that, what else you guys are saying? Church Nelly. Oh, Fatima's asking Church Nelly how she's feeling. So Church Nelly, I hope you are feeling better. So yes. You didn't know I was from Trinidad and Tobago? Can't you hear my accent? I mean, oh my gosh, Lola love. Yeah, she's like, I didn't know you're from TNT. I love Tobago. Love those crystal clear waters on the beaches. Now I'm craving some Trinidad roti and curry goat. I'm telling you, if you're in New York, go to what is it? Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. So if you're not in New York, whenever you come to New York, they apparently make really great roti. And yes, if you have not had roti, well, I'm not into goat, but I would have the curry chicken. Before I became vegan, that would be my thing. Curry chicken with the chana inside and thing. You have not lived until you've had curry, whether it's goat or chicken or just the chana, whatever it is your thing. You have not lived until you've tried Trinidadian roti. I'm just saying. The curry is a different flavor from American or Indian curry, so it's a very different flavor, and it's just the best. It's the best thing on earth. So yes. And yes, we in Trinidad and Tobago, it's Indian and Indian African, the dominant races, I should say, although many have now, are now migrated there, many others. But yeah, so it's always, Black and Indian. Like I have many Indian relatives. So yeah, we are all mixed in the Caribbean. It's awesome. But I'm telling you, Trinidadian roti is woof. And it's like Trinidad and Tobago roti. It's not just Trinidad. So just so you know, it's Trinidad and Tobago roti because we have them in Tobago too. So yeah. Oh yes. And she's like, I love Tobago. Yes, yes, yes. Tobago is awesome. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I'm just scrolling up, seeing what you're saying. Did I check on this already? Mrs. Joanna saying she's been to Tobago and beautiful country. It is absolutely beautiful. So yes, absolutely, absolutely beautiful. And I've come to think of it, why am I here? Why am I not back in my country? It's like, but I love New York. It's been my home most of my life, so I love it here too. So, Blackery says, she's talking to Cookies and Creamy, says, yes, the gutter press can't process decency, especially if it's coming from a non-white. They are horrendously bitter. That's it. That's all it is. Bitterness and racism mixed into it is a horrible combination. Absolutely horrible combination of just absolute horrendous bitterness. from the British press. Just unbelievable. I mean, and as Bianca said, there literally was no drama on the store. None. And they can't handle no drama. They couldn't put anything on the tour. So of course we know after the tour they started with all of the nonsense, but about the cost and all of that stuff because they had no drama coming from the tour. So yes, so can't wait to see what Harry and Meghan does next when they, wherever they end up going to next. So yeah, we'll land us stay on this page. This page is nicer, I think. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Um, uh, doo-doo-doo. Cookies and Cream says the article by Bianca Betancourt in Harper's Bazaar is is a fantastic article. It's very objective. It's not full of bile and mistruths like the articles by the lying racist UK press. Yeah, it's a really cool article. It's a really great article. Just observing. Again, she's a culture editor, and that is what she does. She writes about Latin American culture and really uplifting the culture, and especially. And I think what is especially galled the bitter ones in the UK is that Harry and Meghan's tour was not highlighting the whiteness of Colombia, because as Bianca says, if you look at the exports, and we've talked about that before and here, if you look at the exports that comes out of Colombia, especially in entertainment, it's the white ones, the white passing Colombians are the ones that you will see on TV, whether it's, I don't know if there's a Colombian soap opera or whatever, but anything out of Colombia, you would never know there were Black people in Colombia. You would see the same thing with the Dominican Republic. You see the same thing with Puerto Rico. You see the same thing with a lot of these countries where whiteness is what's exported. And if you don't know they're there, like I had no idea they were in Colombia, the same thing. You look at Australia a lot of the times, the same thing. There's a whole indigenous community there. It's just, it's amazing. But when you look at the mainstream of what comes out of Colombia and these countries, it's the white side. And so my thing is, because Harry and Meghan went there and they specifically focused on the Black people in Colombia, this was part is like, it's almost like, ugh, they didn't like it too much. And I think a lot of, even from Colombians, and I saw some of even some, I guess, some bloggers from Colombia had issues. And it's, and I look at it and I thought, if Harry and Meghan went there and they focused on the white community, some of these people would have no issues about it. But they came there and they focused on voices that and it's kind of the same thing where that lady from the Diana Awards, the new, I think, CEO or whatever she is, from the Diana Awards, said that Diana's focus was uplifting voices of the voiceless. And that is exactly what Harry and Meghan did, because again, I and the majority of people didn't know there were Black people in Colombia. I mean, I assume here and there, but I didn't realize there was this whole Black community. And then most of their art is from this community, even though they are hidden. And here are these two people, two of the most famous people in the world, went there and put a spotlight on that community. And they did not spotlight the whiteness of it because they didn't need to spotlight it, because that's what everybody knows. That's what they export. And I'm so happy that the vice president, Marquez, who is also Black Colombian, I'm so happy that this is what she did, because she wanted her community highlighted. This is where she's from. These are the people and the communities that she is from. And she put a spotlight in it. So now the world know that they're there and they can't be hidden anymore. And I think that's part of the bitterness. And so I'm like, yeah, they're just bitter. But Bianca did such a great job. So anyways, let's see what else. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I am just scrolling up. Uh, Gwendolyn talking about Baron. Baron is truly missed and loved. Can somebody tell me what's up with Baron? Is he sick? I mean, I'm going to send him a message when I'm done. Again, as I was saying when I started. Oh, Lydia said, oh, I'm just saying, Pedal Baron is ill. He is asking for continued prayers. Oh my goodness. Wow. So let's definitely pray for Baron. And that he is able to get lots and lots of rest. And yes, we will definitely. Wow. And here I was, because someone had asked me about it, and I was like, oh no, I'm sure he's fine. It's Labor Day weekend. So Barrett is probably out. Just, he does this every day. Again, it takes a lot to put a podcast together, and he does so much with his podcast and puts so much of him and his energy into. I mean, you guys listen to Baron, so I don't need to tell you. That's like, preaching to the choir. And so I just thought he took the weekend off. It's Labor Day weekend, so like most people. And so I would definitely check in on Baron. And thank you so much, Lydia, for donating and supporting as always. You always do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But thank you for letting me know. And definitely we'll all be praying for Baron. My word. I'm telling you, stuff happens so fast. You're fine one day and the next day it's like, bam, illness happens. So let's definitely please keep praying for Baron. And I'm sure, again, speaking to the choir, I'm sure everyone else here will be praying for him as well. Mrs. S, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for your kind donation. You guys, I appreciate so much your support to continue with this podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Paulette. I try. I try. So yes, Patricia Nixon says, "Hello, Squad and Pedal. Enjoying the last summer holiday cookout, family, friends, and peach cobbler too." Wow. So I'm telling you, Patricia, you have it all going on. I've never had a peach cobbler, so I don't know how that tastes, or even I don't know if I know what it looks like. So I've never had one. So enjoy it for me. And now I'm going to have to go Google peach cobblers. I think my food choices, I don't know why I have such a limited food choices. I've like limited myself to a bunch of stuff. So there are a lot of American food that I don't know and I've just never tried before because my tastes are Caribbean and Asian. So anytime I choose a restaurant or whatever, it will normally be something Asian or Caribbean. I'm sorry, Asian, Middle Eastern, and Caribbean. Those are my tastes. So I have not tried a lot of American food, unfortunately. I don't know. It's just, yeah. And so I've never had a peach cobbler. So that is shameful, isn't it? That is quite shameful. I've lived here most of my life and I've never had one. So yeah. I do have to try it and see how it is. So thank you for saying that. That's one thing new that I'm going to do today. Check it out and at some point try it. Let's see. Let's see. Couple more. Karen Warner is here. Hello, Karen. Karen says, when are the pun going to give it up? Never. They're never going back. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Joy, joy, joy. We've talked about all the time about the cycles of grief, or is it the cycle of grief? I think it is, right? Where, at some point you have to get to acceptance. But I don't think the British royalists and the press is, I think they keep going to up to like the third one, like bargaining and something. They try to get to acceptance and then they go back and then they revert back to the beginning. And it's just this cycle of never getting to the point of accepting the situation and moving on. I don't know how many times and how many ways Prince Harry and Meghan are going to have to say they have moved on and they're not going back. I just don't know. And it's just like, people, at some point, you have to understand when the British press is just lying to you. At some point, you have to understand when you're being lied to and used for clicks. Because if you, I mean, are you gonna believe some friend of a friend of a friend? As I saw a clip today of this guy who is on This Morning, and he's the older guy in the show. He doesn't believe anything because one of the things that the clip says, and he was saying on the clip, is like, well, this stuff came from the Daily Mail. And it's like a source told another source, and the other source heard it from another source. And so by the time you get the information, it's like you have all these sources, and none of them of something Harry could have possibly said. And it started in something from the Daily Mail of all places. Why would you believe it? And yet, so all over X, people from the UK up in arms, whether they like the idea of Harry coming back to the royal family or hate the idea, but they have all in some ways bought into this nonsense, all because Harry was able to come in and possibly leave the UK and the British press not know anything about it. So they have to cover themselves because they know they look stupid. They have to cover themselves and claim they have these exclusives that obviously they don't have. And it's just like, people, how much longer are you going to allow yourself to be lied to and used and just look stupid? My goodness, at some point, you have to you have to realize how stupid this is and how stupid you look. And again, this is how the British press have been so successful in grooming the public. They are geniuses. I mean, if you want to give the British press credit for something, is how they have masterfully groomed their public to believe any nonsense that they put there. And they know the exact headline to put there to get the readership, to get them hooked, so that their whole conversations all for the next few days is going to be this bogus headline about Harry coming back to the UK. And of course, we don't know how, I don't know Harry personally. I don't know what he says to his friends, whatever. And we can only go on what Harry has said, but nothing the Sussexes have said has indicated in any way, shape, or form anything about moving back to the UK. But yet the Daily Mail could put out this nonsense and people just eat it up. And so it's craziness. It's absolute craziness. And as Karen says, joy, joy, joy. That's what Harry and Meghan are around. Joy. They're not here for the UK and their nonsense. So yes. Let's see. Lola says, Petal, make sure you try, black folk speech cobbler. Oh, okay. It is made with a crust, not the cakey stuff some people use. Okay, so it's made with a crust. Do they just, I'm assuming that they just sell it in stores or something, yes? Or do I need to order it from a special place? Do tell. I don't know. So let me know if something I can order in a store, or order it somewhere, or just get it in did they sell it in the grocery store? I don't know. It's never crossed my mind, so I never looked. I've never thought to look. So let me know. Let's see. Kathy was saying she was wondering about his absence and praying for him. Yes, please, 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 please do. And Baron, if you're listening, you're probably in bed. But if you're listening, we're sending you prayers, get well wishes, love, all of it. So yes, and I will send a message to him later on when I'm done with this. But thank you guys for letting me know what's going on with Baron. So yes, Anne is saying the same thing. She was unaware that he was unwell. I did not see his podcast. All my prayers for his wellness. Yes, yes. Again, the only thing that I saw was a message on his community page that there wasn't going to be a podcast, and I didn't see anything after that. That's why I thought he was just taking a vacation. So yes. Let's see. Yes, Cinderella. Definitely the telephone game in that article. I haven't read the article. Some people have posted the headline, the front page. So I haven't read the article, and I will not be reading the article because I am not giving them hits. So it's just nonsense. Oh, hi, Lottie. I'm happy you're here. I hope you had a fun time shopping. But I'm just happy you're here. So let's see what else is happening down here. Let's scroll down. Um, Kathy's like, I've never seen anything like it. I'm assuming you're talking about the madness on Shutter Island. I'm telling you, it's a whole island, and they just need to have the main building in that country a mental institution. Pack all their reporters in that institution because, Lord, that is where that is where they belong. Um, Black Queen says, no credit to those fools. People are fickle. It doesn't take much to brainwash folks into cults, sadly. And that is the truth. That is definitely true. But again, my thing is watching them the last how many years since the Sussexes. That's the first time I paid attention to the British press. Uh, Watching how they have been massively brainwashing people is just like, yeesh. But again, as Black Me said, yeah, people are fickle and they just a lot of times people they want the gossip, they want because people are so drawn to the negativity of it, they want that gossip and they will eat it up. So yes. Oh, fantastic. Khadija says pedal cobbler can be bought at Safeway. Oh, I'm assuming maybe they have something similar to Safeway in New York. I don't know. Is there a Safeway in New York? I've never heard of it before. I don't know. So maybe there are other markets where I can get it if we don't have a Safeway. But thank you for letting me know. I did it. Yeah, that is really great to hear. At least I know I could purchase it somewhere and don't have to try making it. That would be disastrous because I'm horrible at cooking. So yeah. Let's see. And it says the media use psychology on its public. It's to deflect from the 43 million that's given to the royal family. Also, their sources trained to deflect with headlines for clicks. Very, very, very true. Very, very, very true. So yes. And yes, the big deflection is that the royal family is going to get the 53 million pound raise. And you're like, for doing what exactly? And that is the good question, isn't it? For doing what? They have done nothing. I mean, oh, I forgot to post it on our community page, that video of King Charles trying to cut a ribbon. I mean, your whole life, 75 years, have been training you to cut a ribbon. And it was the most embarrassing ribbon, or at least he was trying to cut this ribbon. And it's like, dude, your one job is to cut ribbon. You can't cut a ribbon. Lord. But yes, that's where we are. So yes. Oh, Karen says, Baron decided to do his last live with his teeth in and is sick. Don't do it again. Don't laugh. Just get well. Missing you. Oh, okay. So he was sick when he was doing the last live. My goodness. And that is his dedication. That is the dedication this man have. I think I don't know that he's ever missed a day, or maybe a day or so, maybe 1 or 2 days he's missed from doing his podcast. That's the commitment he made, to do his podcast every single day. And so he's so committed to chatting with everyone and talking about our faves, and just actually because it's the community and he just loves hanging out in the community. And so he does it every day. So when he's not there, it's like, oh, where's Baron? And he puts everything into it. So I'm not surprised to see that he was doing it while he was sick. So I'm glad he's taking time off, because you need rest. Again, putting podcasts together is a very time consuming and sometimes difficult thing. And it can, especially when you're dealing with stuff like from the British press, it really plays on you. It really can play on your mind. And so, yeah. And so one of the reasons I don't, because I'm like, nope, I know myself. I can't do this every day. I cannot be in that negative space and dealing with all that stuff every day. I need to give myself a break. So yeah, but it's difficult. So get well soon, Baron. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, Cinderella says, try a good bakery in New York City for peach cobbler, or a restaurant. There you go. There you go. Thank you very much. I will try it. So I hope it's not like Pies. Is it like a pie? Because I don't like pies because like I like the crust, but not the squishy parts in the middle. I don't like it because I don't. That's why I don't eat it because of the squishiness in the middle. I'm not into squishy things. I like the crust. Everything else you can go. So I usually like scrape out the inside. So if it's like a blueberry or apple something, and so I scrape and throw that away and just eat the crust because the crust actually tastes really good. So I hope it's not like that. So yeah. Oh, Sandra says, try the place Harry and Meghan went to in Harlem for soul food. Oh, Sylvia. No, not Sylvia's, the other one. Okay, yes. Okay. Now, okay. That helps. So thank you. And maybe Sylvia's even have it. So great. Thank you guys for your recommendation. I will try. Oh, Melba's. That's right, Melba's. So because we also have a Sylvia's in Harlem. So okay, I will try it there then, and I'll let you know what I think. So yes. And says, and there's no pictures of him like there like Harry. So I think the press is not telling the truth. Huh. Are you talking about William being there? Because yeah, I know some people were questioning whether he was there or not. I have no idea. No idea. The ministers, the priests, or whomever that led the ceremony said they were both there, and he shook both their hands. So if a priest could, I hope, I would assume the priest isn't lying. So not that they don't lie, but I would assume, there's nothing to lie about. So I would assume the priest is not lying. And he said he shook both their hand and they thanked him for the service and he thanked them for coming or something like that. So I would assume he's there, but let's see. TMCD says, oh, hello, pedal moderators on all Sussex squaddies. I'm just passing by and catching a live. I hope everyone is having a great long weekend. Get well soon, Baron. Yes, get well soon. So anyways, guys, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. Thank you to our awesome moderators who are on here today. Lydia, Trishnelli, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. Thank you all so much. Oh, one thing, if guys, Karen, I think Karen is still here. Karen is doing her event on the 14th, September 14th. So please, if you have not and you're interested in going, definitely check it out. I'm going to actually put the link again in our community page so that you can click and get all the information. So that is coming up the day before Harry's birthday. So if you're in New York and didn't know about it, check out the information that I'm going to put in our community page so you can go and support Karen as she celebrate our fave's birthday. So yes, thank you so much, Karen. And so anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you so much to all of you who support, to all of our 2 Cents crew who support us on a monthly basis, and to all of you who support in the chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, financial support. It helps to pay for all the things that I need to pay for this channel. So I so much appreciate all your help. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic day. If you're in the US, have a fantastic rest of the day, rest of the holiday. Enjoy your barbecues and your family and peach cobbler. And I will chat with you all next time. Bye. I love you all.